Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Union Leipzig Career Mode series, sitting in 5th place, way outperforming our expectations. So let's get right back to the action. Now, the running theme this season has been our defense. We're the best defensive team in the league, and we're winning a lot of these games 1-0 consistently. I don't know exactly how sustainable that's going to be, but the team overall has looked pretty good so far. We just could use a little more in terms of the goal scoring department as Victor Sommer gets forward and blasts one into the back of the net. Well, let that be an example for the rest of the team and how you score goals. We've seen Julian Busch as our only consistent goal scorer this season, but that's a reminder of what our academy graduate is capable of. And you know what else? The other focus this season was supposed to be, or is rather supposed to be, around promoting and developing academy talents. But there's a reason that Victor Sommer has been the only player who's been a consistent part of our starting 11 out of the academy. And this is the bar that we want to set. If you want minutes in this team, start performing, because we have players like Sommer who are already doing it. And honestly, our entire team is just so good on the ball and in the link-up play. Julian Busch looking to beat his man. It's given away, but somehow the play still continues on. Busch with a little back heel flick. That is wonderful, but Fofana misses the mark. It was all there except for the finish, and that has been the running theme for Union Leipzig this season. But I guess the other running theme for us is our defense, and again, so far, we're just looking so solid at the back as Bouchard goes sliding in. How about that for a challenge? Our back three and even our wing backs are just looking so strong. And it's on full display in this game. We look very organized, and honestly, 56 minutes into the game, we haven't had that many chances at all come against us. Hopefully I'm not speaking too soon or out of turn here, as the play is shaping up pretty well, but it's blasted wide, and again, we remain firm under pressure. And I think it's a sign of the experience that this team has built. It sounds funny because we've only been a club for 3 seasons and we have a lot of young players, but this is a team that did just get promoted and has started to prove themselves to be mentally strong, and we're navigating these situations well as Julian Busch puts one over the bar. That is the full-time whistle. It's another 1-0 victory, another clean sheet, and a tight win. And I think it's a big credit to this team who are learning to perform like this pretty much every single week. All right, well, that win takes us into 3rd place. Now, there's a huge chunk of the season still left to play for, so let's not get too excited just yet, but there's an outside chance we could not only be avoiding relegation, but actually in the running for promotion this season. And our players are happy. Noah Bouchard, who's, you know what, I'm gonna say the most underrated signing so far in this career. We brought him in to be a short-term defensive midfield option, but instead, he's become probably our best center back. And now we got a couple players running out of a contract soon. I don't know about those this season, but Bouchard definitely deserves a boost to his contract. However, I think we just negotiated with him at the end of last season, so it's not letting me renew the contract. I don't know what to do about that. Let's revisit at the end of the season. But I think in terms of squad building, the other thing that's important to note is we're still hard at work trying to find a youth academy goalkeeper. This has been the focus of our search over the last entire season, basically. We've doubled down again this season. We've put all of our efforts into finding a goalkeeper who can be our long-term solution. Peterman's done a great job in the meantime, but again, it's not necessarily going to be sustainable for the long term. And I think we've just found another good option. The two we've been looking at have been Weber and Lang, but this guy, Samuel Sauer, looks to be even better. And I think maybe the highest potential out of the bunch and the highest immediate short-term rating as well. Now, I'm not going to rush to promote any of these players right now in the middle of the season because I want them to grow in the academy, but I think going forwards, let's definitely keep an eye on this guy because we may have just found our solution. He's only 17 years of age. And honestly, we're just looking for players who can take a full step up out of the academy. Vincent Sommer's been with us since season 1 and has proven to be one of our most consistent players, still only a teenager. And I keep saying this, but I mean, he's setting the expectation for where youth should be if they want to get involved fully with the team. And at only 65 overall, I think players like Sauer at 63 are definitely within a shout of making their way into the first team. But again, we still have a long season ahead of us. I think the way we're performing, I don't want to fiddle around too much with anything. So let's get back with the usual starting 11. Now, we've seen a bunch of these very close victories, and I don't know, I mean, hopefully we can keep that up, but what I'm really hoping for is more expansive wins, like in the games that we're actually taking a lead, to find more than just one goal as Julian Busch makes his way into the box here. He's got the footwork to take on his man. That is beautiful, but he's just bundled off of it. And Union Leipzig, it's been kind of a quiet game for us so far, despite having a lot of the ball given away again. We're not creating that many chances. We take it all the way to halftime, where it's been a really boring one. We've only conceded one shot on us, but we've created literally nothing with an expected goal of 0. This has been one of the most boring games probably of the whole career so far. And unfortunately, this is just the type of team we've been building. Really sound defensively, but maybe lacking a bit going forward. The games definitely haven't been the most high scoring or entertaining. I mean, it's benefited us so far, but again, I just don't know how long our luck of winning these games 1-0 and things like that is going to be sustainable as the ball is put into the box. Grbić tries to get there to cover, but it's in the back of the net, and that is exactly what we have to be careful about. A goal that we absolutely did not see coming. It was a simple ball into the box, and in the end, now we're chasing a goal in a game where we're not creating a lot at all. Whew, what a ball there, though. Well, we got to make some kind of change here, and I've tried this before, but I mean, we got to get our new signing Adamson involved more. He's actually barely featured, only as a substitute a handful of times. I'm going to push Wolf a little deeper. Let's bring on Adamson, and then I think Bush can play. I was going to try him as an attacking midfield. Let's push Bush back on the left-hand side. I think we need to keep Kruger and Sommer on the pitch, but we can definitely at least bring on Adamson. That'll give us another striking option. With Bush out wide, maybe we can create a little more. Now, the game has definitely opened up a little bit, but as we've seen before, this is the risk we take. Playing Julian Bush out on the left-hand side, we're going to be missing a little bit in defense, but what we lose there is being made up for by a little bit more fluidity in the build-up play as Kruger hands the ball off. We're trying to find a way through. Sommer plays it through. Adamson now, our new striker, the chance, and he can't quite get there, but Fofana sends it wide. That's hugely disappointing from our number 9. And with the game opened up now, it's getting a lot more end-to-end, and we're conceding even more chances as Grbić tries to close down Bouchard as well, and it's through the legs of Sommer and into the back of the net. Unfortunately, the way things are going, you gotta feel like we don't necessarily have a path back into this game, and Union Leipzig's defense finally falls apart. And from here, the composure really just starts to completely unravel. 10 minutes remaining, wide open through the middle, and despite a save from the goalkeeper, the continued pressure means we end up conceding a third. It's really disappointing from a team that's been in such good form recently, and now we really just have to hope that this loss isn't going to affect our morale too much. And unfortunately, it does mean we slide down to 7th place. I mean, it was always a little ambitious for us to think we could be really fighting for promotion, but while the dream was alive, it was definitely something nice to kind of cling on to for us. But in the meantime, I don't know, we're seeing a little bit of conflict with the players who probably want more minutes, like Cedric Makoko. He's thankful for the minutes he's been given so far, but without a real spot for him in the team, I don't know how useful it is to have him be here and not developing as a youth player. Because the truth is, we have Bush and Fofana starting. Adamson on the bench isn't even getting that many minutes, and that means Makoko is our 4th choice striker. And the truth of the matter is, even our preferred starting strikers aren't exactly lighting the league on fire in terms of goals, so I don't think we have much room to experiment with players who we think to be, at least on paper, worse than their starting counterparts. And as Julian Bush tries to crack open the defense here, it's a good chance, but no goal at the end of the move. And I can't help but notice this team is just really reliant on Julian Bush. The minute he starts to drop off in terms of output, it's clear that we suffer the consequences. And even defensively, we're starting to see some cracks appearing as we go down a goal again. Union Leipzig are starting to kind of fall apart here. And it's at points in the season like this that we need to see better out of the players that we're really looking towards. I'm especially looking towards the captain, Simon Wolf, who hasn't necessarily shown us too much in terms of output this season, but as Fofana somehow luckily finds his way through, Julian Bush surely, oh my god, what a save, but he's got to do better there. Well, it's been a really boring remainder of the game here with only minutes left. We could concede another, but David Grbić, incredible from our center back, who's really been the heartbeat of our backline this season, and we still have maybe one more chance to at least find a tying goal here as Fofana plays it through. Alexander Brandt, our right back, surging forward. This is a good opportunity. Brandt, he's pushed off of it at the very death. Can't get the pass off, and I think, yeah, that's the final whistle. Union Leipzig with a disappointing defeat. Although we showed a little bit of heart and push at the end there, it wasn't enough. And it's just a symptom of the way we're playing. I mean, you look at the expected goals for both teams, it was always going to be a low-scoring one, and although we're unlucky to not have a clean sheet there, we gotta do better offensively. I mean, we're hanging on right now to an 8th place position, and there's probably not a whole lot to play for this season, but I just can't help but feel like we're close to doing better. And I think the key here is going to be the players we have up top. Now, Bush and Fofana, we've seen plenty of good link-up play between them, but at this point, we just need something a little more clinical, and I think it's time to give a proper run out to our new signing, Adamson, who is signed to be exactly that for us. He's a completely different profile, and maybe just kind of mixing and matching these options instead will work. I think in terms of the other options we have on the bench, I don't know. None of these players are necessarily sticking out to me that much, but again, they're very young, and I think we just need to give some of the young players time to grow. But right now, I don't think they're gonna be able to come in and really make an impact on the starting 11. I think this is probably our best bet going forwards. But over the past 3 seasons, the truth is we've built a Union Leipzig side that are very much outperforming where we could probably, or I guess should probably be expecting this team to be at so early in its development. We have a strong system and we have a lot of strong players that are filling out these positions. Julian Bush emerging as a star, our defense coming together, a solid midfield. We're just missing someone to really grab the goals kind of up top alongside Bush. And all in all, that's a good position to be in. It's a lot better than if we were having chaotic, high-scoring games or we couldn't get our entire defense under control. I think the system is there. It's just a matter of fine-tuning at this point as our left back Wolski charges forward. What a run! And the left back flicks it on Bush again for Adamson, and he scores the opening goal of the game. It's been all Union Leipzig so far, and the change we made going into this game has worked out perfectly so far. Adamson did exactly what we put him there to do, and that is score a goal. I mean, all in all, this kind of has been a running problem for us since the very beginning. Julian Bush is doing well to adapt up top, being a natural right winger we've been playing at striker. He's learning, but he's still young and he's not necessarily the finished product yet, even though he's got a lot of talent. But honestly, again, Nico Fofana, we've seen a lot of good kind of possession play out of him, but not a ton of goals either. Mokoko's too young. We just haven't had a striker who can do what Adamson just did and make it look simple in front of goal. And as Wolski, the left back, finds Adamson again, it's a shot from distance. How about that? Well, that is even better. Adamson has come into our starting 11 and made a huge impact. Our number 11's just got 2 goals, and 2 goals of a very different caliber. One was kind of a poacher's goal in front, and the other a shot from distance. I mean, I was just kind of saying this, but this is what we've been missing all along. Somebody to just have a go. And now finally, we've actually got the 2-goal lead that we've been desiring for a long time this season. Now we have to keep it though, and Peterman makes a good save. Our goalkeeper has been solid this season. Again, maybe not the most long-term option for us, but definitely a good option in the meantime as a header finds its way down and in the back of the net. I was hyping up our goalkeeper just as we conceded, and now the game looking a little more fragile as our lead is reduced to only 1 goal. And unfortunately, as we go into halftime, there is an injury, which means Vincent Sommer's going to have to come off, and I'm kind of coming to the realization now that we don't have a lot of central midfield depth either. Kuyate is going to be able to fill in the meantime, but that's another position that, similar to striker, we're going to need to have other options for. It's honestly a lot of positions on the pitch. We're just 1 injury away from having a pretty big crisis. As the game continues on here, only 20 minutes remaining, we are still in the lead, but it's looking a little more nervy as we're having to do some last-ditch defending. David Gerbic does really well to clear the ball away. Wolski, though, heads it down back into the path of an attacker, and no one in midfield able to close down. We're missing the presence of Sommer there, and we concede a 2nd goal. Well, Union Leipzig struggling big time to stay in these games, and suddenly our lead has evaporated. Well, this is usually the point in the game when we've been bringing Adamson on, but now he's already on the pitch. It's going to be Fofana. Let's move Bush out wide, and I don't know, I think we got to give this game our all. I'm actually going to throw Moukoko up top as well with Fofana as an attacking midfielder and Wolf, of all players, out wide. It's a little risky, but I think we have to go for it. We need a win here to stay in the race up here at the top of the table. And now Union Leipzig are really feeling the pressure. There's not a lot of time left in this one, and we definitely need a goal to keep our momentum, or I guess kind of get our momentum back. I was going to say keep it going. It hasn't exactly been smooth sailing for us, but as Julian Bush comes forward, Adamson takes a great touch straight into the back of the net with another shot. It's a hat trick from our number 11. What a top performance, and suddenly Union Leipzig are back in a winning position in this game against all the odds. It hasn't been the prettiest, but it certainly has been up top at the very least. This is what we've been missing for 3 seasons now. Somebody to just score goals. That was a top performance. And as you'd expect, Adamson is man of the match. We may have just found our solution up top. Now, was it the most convincing win in the world? No, but it keeps us here in the top 5, but we're level on points 2nd through 5th right now, are all on 24 points, so it's all to play for still at the top end of the table. We could seriously be looking at a promotion spot this season. I mean, still early days, so let's not get too crazy. Because we have some bad news. Vincent Sommer's gonna be out for 3 months, and I mean, to be honest, that's a really big deal. Our midfield has been one of the strongest parts of this team, and having 2 box-to-box unique kind of midfielders in Sommer and Kruger are crucial to the way we play. So without one of those 2 players, I mean, the truth is, we don't have a good replacement behind him, and I think it's going to affect our performances a lot. Now, the big question is, what are we going to do about this injury problem? Now, I think Adamson and Bush can continue starting up top, but in terms of our defensive midfielders, or I guess just standard central midfielders, with Sommer out, I don't know, we have a couple kind of older options. Kouyaté is a decent kind of rotation option, but with us kind of leading the charge for a possible promotion push, I don't think he's got the quality we need, and the truth is, I think Wolf can do pretty much everything he does except better. Maybe not quite as defensively good, but possession is so key to the way we play. I just don't feel comfortable having Kouyaté play there for the next 3 months. So I'm gonna try something a little different. Play Wolf deeper and have Fofana as an attacking midfielder. It's kind of a bold change to this team, but maybe this kind of works out the best of all of our players. We've been saying for a while now, Fofana's so good on the ball, but can't necessarily score as much. Maybe starting all 3 of our strikers together will work out. Now, Union Leipzig full of possession here early in the game, and I guess we're seeing kind of why all these players have been in and out of the team. Fofana, Bush, even Adamson are all linking up really well up top, and as Alexander Brandt plays the ball back, it's a poor touch from Bush to give it away. But Union Leipzig continuing a high press here and trying to win the ball back. Bush doing well to almost get that ball, and Adamson closes his man down, wins the ball back, it's in the box now. Adamson has a look himself, and it's blasted wide, but that's the confidence we like to see from our striker. It's been all Union Leipzig so far. I've been loving the performances we're seeing out of this team as Bush plays it out wide, slows the play down just a little bit, but Wolski charging into the box. Can he pick out the pass? Top of the box for Adamson, sends it wide again, but very direct from Union Leipzig, and definitely we're looking more dangerous and threatening than ever. That could have been a good chance. Adamson looks to be an inspired signing so far. I mean, he's been exactly what this team's been crying out for a while now. Again, maybe not as elegant on the ball or necessarily as fast as our other players, but look at that, another chance. Adamson almost gets it back into the path of Bush, and he's just changed the dynamic up top so much. We look very threatening. But even then, I mean, sometimes it's just not your night, and Union Leipzig still have yet to find a goal, but as Felix Kruger closes down, that's exactly what we love to see out of our central midfielders. Julian Bush now coming forwards, good footwork on the ball, and he picks out the pass wide. Alexander Brandt coming forwards, but the final pass is missing, and again, a chance gone by for us. Union Leipzig have been playing well, but with no goals to show for it yet. I mean, anything could happen in these games, and we find ourselves on the receiving end of a counterattack here. Bouchard looking to close down off the post, deflected back at the top of the box and in the back of the net. Despite all the bodies back, trying to get in front of the ball, we still find a way to concede, and that's hugely disappointing for a game we've largely been dominating. Well, despite having a really solid defense so far this season, the truth is we're always going to be at a risk of conceding goals. We can't keep clean sheets every game, and it's honestly down to our offense here for not making the most of the chances we've created. Definitely not for a lack of effort, though. I mean, we've had plenty, and I mean, this just seems to be more down to a little bit of, lack of luck than anything else. I honestly think we've played well, and definitely still able to score here. 2 minutes remaining in the game. Fofana finds Adamson, another chance, and that's a solid save from their goalkeeper. Adamson's been threatening all night, and I think a little unfortunate to not have scored. So we're bringing Makoko and Richter off the bench. Let's see if we can get a late winner here. I'm looking for more out of Cedric Makoko, who has come up through our academy and looked really promising at first, but we just haven't seen a lot of him as Adamson sends another ball towards goal. That might just be it as it's booted away. And the final whistle blows. That is a heartbreaking one. I think we played well overall, but we suffer a defeat, and unfortunately, that sees our momentum come to a halt. Now, the remainder of this season's gonna be interesting to figure out where to play people. Fofana's happy to be involved however he can, and We're in 6th place, so it's not too bad, but with a game against the 4th place team coming up next, this is going to be a pivotal game. And in the meantime, the search for a youth goalkeeper continues as we pull in a lot of potential options, but the truth is we're only going to end up being able to settle on one, so we're going to have a big decision to make this season. But in the meantime, I'm also going to send our scouts, or one of our scouts out rather, to just continue to search in other positions. We can't hyper-focus on goalkeeper because the truth is we're trying to build a youth team in general here, and I think we could use a bunch of positions. Center back, central midfield, obviously, as we've kind of just discovered with the injury to Summer. We need to keep our options open. So the search really for all kinds of youth continues on this season. But I think what's going to be really important now are the couple of games in front of us to keep ourselves in a position here, in a good position here late in this season. But the rest of the games are going to come next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you back for the next one.